England has produced some of the finest players the world has ever seen. Bobby Charlton, David Beckham, Wayne Rooney, Paul Gascoigne to name a few. But it hasn't always been that way. Sometimes England managers have had to play a wild card in that hope of finding the next star. In this episode of TTM Football Shorts, we give you the top 10 players you forgot played for England.
Number 10, Gavin McCann. A member of the One Cap Wonder Club, Gavin McCann made his only appearance for England in 2001 in a friendly at Villa Park versus Spain, more famous for the late great Ugo Eckihog scoring a booming header in Sven-Göran Eriksson's first game in charge. Starting his career at Everton, McCann would move to Sunderland in 1998, where his performances under Peter Reid would catch the eye of Sven-Göran Eriksson in 2001. Although once he realised he had a teenage Steven Gerrard at his disposal, it was over for Gavin. Sadly, McCann would never play for England again. He would, however, go on to be a steady Premier League midfield player, having spells at Aston Villa and later Bolton.
Number 9, Jay Boothroyd. The much-travelled forward would play for England in 2010, coming in as a second-half substitute against France at Wembley. At the time playing for Cardiff in the Championship, Boothroyd was in great form for the Championship club, notching in 18 times that season, finally settling after spells at Blackburn, Perugia, Coventry, Charlton Athletic and Wolverhampton Wanderers. He would never appear for the Three Lions again, and his career in England would fizzle out after an unsuccessful 2 years at Queen's Park Rangers. However, he would have a late career resurgence in Asia, firstly joining Wanthong in Thailand before starring in Japan with Jubilo Iwata, where he would bang in 35 goals in just 56 appearances. And to this day, at the ripe old age of 38 years old, he is still scoring regularly in the J-League for Consadole Sapporo, where he plays his home games at the Sapporo Dome. I wonder what else happened there.
Number 8, Wilfried Zaha. In 2012, a then 20-year-old Wilfried Zaha, in his first spell at boyhood club Crystal Palace, would earn a call-up to the England squad and would make his debut in a friendly defeat to Sweden, a game most famous for that goal. No, not Zlatan's outrageous bicycle, but a bundled finish from Liverpool cult hero Steven Caulker, also on debut. After his flop of a move to David Moyes' Manchester United, Zaha would fizzle out after struggling to settle in Manchester. But a permanent move back to Crystal Palace in 2015 would reignite the winger, and new FIFA rules would allow him to go on to represent the country of his birth, the Ivory Coast, for whom he has 18 caps and 5 goals, representing the Elephants at 2 African Cup of Nations. A real what could have been this one.
Number 7, Kevin Davies. Bullish, yet never prolific, Kevin Davies was renowned for symbolising the Sam Allardyce way at Bolton, consistently famous for committing the most fouls in the Premier League season after season. A Premier League mainstay after joining Southampton in 1997 from Chesterfield, the big man would have spells at Blackburn and again back to Southampton before joining the Trotters Bolton in 2003, where he would spend 10 years. The pinnacle of his career, however, would come in 2010, where he was selected for England at the age of 33, after coming on as a second-half substitute in a Euro 2012 qualifier against Serbia and Montenegro. He would become England's oldest ever debutant since 1950, although this was as good as it got, after picking up a customary yellow card in what would be his only England appearance.
Number 6, Gabriel Aglahor. Gabriel Aglahor burst onto the scene at Aston Villa as an 18-year-old in 2006. Scoring on his debut for his hometown club, he would go on to score over 30 goals in 3 seasons, earning him a call-up to England in 2008. Making his debut in a friendly against Germany, he would earn 3 caps under Fabio Capello, but wouldn't appear for England again after 2009. Aglahor would play his whole career for Aston Villa, retiring in 2019, aged 32, as the club's highest Premier League scorer with 73 Premier League goals.
Number 5, Ryan Mason. A product of the Tottenham Academy, Ryan Mason was called up for England by then manager Roy Hodgson for the Euro 2016 qualifier with Lithuania. After an impressive list of loan spells at Yeovil, Doncaster Rovers, Millwall, Lorient and Swindon, Mason would finally establish himself in the Spurs side in the 2014-15 season. His performances earning him the initial call-up. Although he would struggle to hold down a place in Pochettino's midfield, he would end up making a club record transfer fee move to Hull City in 2016. However, tragically, in January the next year, Mason would suffer a fractured skull in a collision with Gary Cahill whilst playing against Chelsea. This injury would end his career, and sadly Ryan Mason retired, aged just 26 years old.
Number 4. Neil Razor Ruddock. Neil Ruddock, officially voted football's 17th hardest player of all time, played once for England in 1994, in a friendly against Nigeria at Wembley. At this time he was a regular in the Liverpool side under Roy Evans, having joined from Spurs the year earlier. Razor would go on to play over 100 times for Liverpool, before spells with West Ham, Crystal Palace and an ill-fated stint in the West Country with Swindon Town. Razor can now be found on the reality TV circuit, appearing on shows such as I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here and MasterChef. Just don't mention his appearance on Can't Pay, we'll take it away.
Number 3. Michael Ricketts. In 2002, ahead of the World Cup in Japan and Korea, the big question was who should partner Michael Owen. And after hitting 15 goals in the Premier League by February for Sam Allardyce's newly promoted Bolton Wanderers, Michael Ricketts was seen as a genuine option. Called up by Sven-Göran Eriksson for a friendly with Holland and Amsterdam, he lasted just 45 minutes up front, after being upstaged by Darius Vassell, who would equalise in the 1-1 draw. Ricketts would never play for England again. He would also never score a Premier League goal in his career. He would then fade into obscurity with spells in the Football League with Leeds United, Stoke City, Southend United, Oldham Athletic among others, before an emotional return back to the Bescot Stadium in Walsall where he started his career.
Number 2. Stan Collymore. The always controversial Stan Collymore made 3 appearances for England between 1995 and 1997. 41 goals in 65 league games for Nottingham Forest would see him earn a move to Liverpool in 1995. An England call would soon follow. Being part of the squad for the prestigious Umbro Cup at Wembley in 1995, starting up front with Alan Shearer against Japan and coming on as a sub against world champions Brazil. Collymore would play just one more time for England, against Moldova in 1997. Stan the man's career would go downhill from this point, leaving Liverpool to have dry spells of Aston Villa, Leicester and Bradford, before finishing his career at Spanish giants Real Oviedo, making 3 appearances and scoring no goals.
Number 1. Chris Sutton. One half of the deadly SAS partnership, Chris Sutton was the yin to Alan Shearer's yang as they won the 1995 Premier League title with Blackburn Rovers. The ex-Norwich City man would be called up by Glenn Hoddle in 1997 for a showpiece friendly against the Cameroon. However, the wheels would fall off for the now TV and radio wind-up merchant Sutton after a fallout with Glenn Hoddle and subsequent refusal to turn out for the England B team. Sutton would never wear the 3-lion shirt again, and after a lacklustre time at Chelsea following a move in 1999, he would then take up early retirement, heading north of the border, spending 6 years with Celtic under Martin O'Neill, playing second fiddle to Henrik Larsson and Big John Hartson, before finishing his career yo-yoing between Aston Villa and Birmingham City. Patriotic? No, more like idiotic. Do you know of any other forgotten England internationals? Then leave us a comment below. And don't forget to hit those all-important like and subscribe buttons. Now stay tuned for the next episode of Football Shorts from TTM.